Part 29 of 999, folks. Welcome to the actual ending.
I love how badly compressed that little video is, because it just reminds me of old 90s point-and-click adventure games.
Yeah, the original video files, which they were fully uncompressed for the re-release, even then they don't look too impressive, but it's understandable, because, I mean, you can't really do too much 3D stuff with the Nintendo DS unless you're a Renegade kid.
It's not the focus. It's like, literally, no one cares what the coffin at the ending looks like. We all just care about how good the story and the 2D art is.
Yeah, and personally though, I like the pre-rendered feel of the backgrounds. It kind of gives a little nostalgic charm to that era of PC games and PlayStation games. It looks, and still, in some areas it kind of looks nice, even though it's mostly just dirty, grunge, filth-filled areas.
Yeah, no, the backgrounds are kind of muddied out in certain scenes, and it is really neat. Helps make everything still pretty blurry, still off-kilter. I mean, it's late at night. They woke up after being drugged. Even here at the very end, they're still going to have some sense of grogginess, I guess.
Yeah, and still, this is also an old-ass ship, clearly, so despite how much they try to keep it clean, they're probably going to miss a couple areas like that, like the prison, or the what do they call it, the brig?
Yeah, the brig on a boat.
Ship lingo there. Also, Junpei now has access to that code he had, but how did he get it?
Yeah, the game doesn't really say yet. We don't have the technical term. Although at this point in later games in this series, like, they've already done this exact act of, pulling other timeline knowledge several times.
Yes. Also, Snake's alive! Hooray!
Hooray! We finally found the timeline where we save Snake without him going to the extra crispy recipe. Yeah, and we get to keep Sane Clover and allow Sane Clover to find her brother. Yay, happy ending for 2 characters, I guess. We're not too sure about the 9th man.
Alright, so, quick question. Which scene got to you or you enjoyed more? The scene where she realizes her brother is still alive, or the scene right here where they reunite?
Probably this scene. I liked this one. This one gave me good resolution. Like, finally, we got them together.
Yeah. I'd probably have to agree, because resolution is probably the key term, because it's still, especially if you haven't gone through the required ending, when Clover says that her brother is still alive, it's still slightly ambiguous as to whether or not he actually is. Now this is just like full confirmation and just a complete and full reunion of brother and sister.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting too. They've basically been separated for the whole game, or whatever, I guess Zero would call this a game. And they're reuniting here at the end. So they had to go through all the puzzles to reunite with one another, which is kind of a just something to note that, I mean, some people just kind of don't realize that little tidbit that they spend basically the whole game separated, only to be reunited at the very end when they've done something similar.
What could he be referring to?
Sorry, I'm having a real hard time explaining this one. Just I feel like this plot point and the explanation plot point might need to be switched, because you really don't get too much context for how big some of these scenes in the very same ending that it's in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like some information could have been used.
Yeah, probably. And thankfully they skipped over Junpei explaining the whole situation to Snake. Once again, props to them. They restrained themselves from doing the flashback.
Oh, to where he learns the code and transfers the code?
Maybe?
I'm guessing that's not the point here.
No. I was just referring to just Junpei explaining just the entire situation with him.
Oh, the kidnapping, the heist, and everything. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, Guy X, Mr. X. They call him Mr. X in here instead of Guy X. It's
weird.
A little weird, yeah. But yeah, we still have no idea at this point, like, why the hell Junpei had that in his head.
We still don't know why Santa left with June. We don't know where the fuck Ace went. We don't know why Snake was in the coffin. Like, we're here. We're at the end. We don't know shit. We just know that dying hurts a lot.
I like how this implies that Clover, like, spent, I don't know, like, the next 30 minutes crying or something like that. Oh, man. Yeah, I probably would, too, if I was separated from my sibling and in a situation like this. Well, I mean...
Definitely, I agree.
I don't know. It all depends on how close you are to said sibling, though, so... And these two are pretty close, so,
Kind of a little weirdo close, but not too weird.
Yeah, now this point needs to be brought up again. There was a previous experiment on this ship. Clover was in it, and other people were in it as well. So...
Everything's connected. Everything is connected. So... Like, I love how this game does it. How it's like, oh, the experiment 9 years ago. And then the 9 years, you get all the facts from there. And everyone just refers to their own thing 9 years ago. It's like, it's all connected. Just put it all together. You're supposed to figure it out before the game just, like, blabs it all out to you. Because this game's not going to do that. It's still going to leave you confused if you're hoping the game to just give you the answer.
Yeah, first time through, I was still had no idea what happened. But I liked it anyway, so 9.5 out of 10.
It felt good, and I was confused. We're gonna go through all the 9 doors.
Oh, yeah. We go through both of them at the same time.
And hope that nobody blows up as a result.
Hey, Snake has that arm thing he could just use as a maneuver to get across there. That's what he did last time when Clover was dead. But probably not going to do it now, though, since it's not necessary.
Alright, I forgot that Snake has that little cheat sneak in there. Although the bomb kind of takes care of it. Honestly, if it was like the Virtue's Last Reward watch, then it'd be completely different. Then Snake would be OP as hell. And then, what did the third game watches? Oh yeah, it injected with the sleepy time drug.
Yeah, this sleepy time drug.
It's the same one from this game, isn't it? Like the exact same one?
Soparil Beta. It's some form of Soparil, I think, that's in the third game. That's a term that's used.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, that's it. They get it from the flowers that were with All Ice, so everything's connected. Everything, obnoxiously so sometimes.
Looks like they opened it, so they can go through.
This is the first time in this playthrough we've gone past a 9 door, haven't we?
Yes, it has. Well, cool. We did go through the other 9 door in that previous ending, but we didn't get any puzzle rooms. We just got a big incinerator and a bunch of sadness.
Oh, right. Well, that's its own puzzle. Sadness and death is kind of its own. So
I completely agree.
So yeah, this is our second time going through a 9 door. That's fine. That's fine. This is kind of a new sprite too.
It's a rare sprite, but I did see it in the beginning during the initial sequence where they all met, where I think Junpei was questioning the relationship between Clover and Snake, and Clover was just looking all coy and shit.
Oh, and they used that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good sprite though. I like it. It gives personality to the character.
Can video games even legally do that?
No, they can't. That's why when the FBI finds out about this video, the creators will be arrested and thrown into video game jail.
God bless America. Aw, cheap hardware. Call tech support. How do you page 0? It's like we broke your lock. What? I didn't know. Like I kept pulling the lever and it just wasn't working. So why would you break it though? I'm not too sure.
Well, I do some whole tech support as my job, so maybe I can take a crack at this. All right, so let's see here. Did you try turning it on and off, fuck, I messed that up. You gotta turn it off before you turn it back on. There you go. That's how you say it. Also, do you even know how to work this thing? And if not, don't even bother. Just never do it again.
Plus the cap.
Oh,
that
boy.
works out.
Yeah, I think we did know in the last ending that the zero brace is actually number 6.
Oh, we learned that already?
I think we did because we were experimenting with the other or did we?
I don't think so. There it is. They figured out this way.
Okay. They might have figured something out in the... No, it was the number 9 bracelet.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, so it wasn't the 0 bracelet, but it's number 6. Oh, also, foreshadowing.
Are you sure? I don't know.
I don't know. Could be, but I just wanted to say that in a very dramatic voice.
I just like how now the dead bodies are becoming very important characters now. Like we already know all about the 8 people. Like they're boring now. We get them. Now we're about to see like what the fuck about everyone else. There's other bodies chilling out here on this boat. See?
Yeah, and just because they're dead doesn't mean they're interesting. Yeah, they can't move, but they have a history behind them.
They've done things. They've been here.
They've done things that they may or may not be ashamed of.
I always forget that. What didn't they get like a notepad as part of their start of the nonary game?
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Because at first I was just like, where are they writing all these notes? But it's like, no, Zero literally gave them notepads to do math on. It's like, what a nice ringleader of death.
Yeah, funnily enough, though, there is no memo function in 999. There's a calculator. If you ever need to use that, if you don't have access to, I don't know, an actual calculator or a computer with countless calculator apps, you just need to use the built-in one. Then.
Hey, none of these characters are smart enough to use a smartphone, alright? Not a single one. I don't care if Lotus is a programming genius. She doesn't use a smartphone.
They all must have those stupid flip phones.
I had one of those for years.
I did too. I held on to it for an embarrassingly long time.
No, Santa's not Zero. He said that Santa's watch is Zero. God, Clover, pay attention. Why would Santa be Zero? Okay, there's no money to be made by killing people. Unless this is all for a reality show, but that would be a stupid plot twist at the end of a game.
Yeah, just keep this in the back of your head. Santa's Zero. Just let's go with this for now. Oh, and June's bracelet was flipped apparently, which yeah, that makes sense. It's an upside down 6 would be a 9. I'm surprised they don't use that for other numbers as well, like the number. Oh wait, no, they couldn't do that. Because I was thinking, they could just turn 5 upside down, but that would just be... Oh, no, wait, that'd be...
The closest you could do would be when they do, like, those base 12 numbers and they start using letters. Then you could be like, oh, this is the number 8 watch, and this is the letter B watch.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I'm surprised that's not something in one of these games, honestly. That's literally dumb enough.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do it.
Yeah, let's just save it for the next one. There's plenty of stupid ideas to burn through with this series. All right, we're gonna get time-dimensional death games forever, and I love it. It's a sign we're still in one of the good timelines.
How long has it been since we've seen a planetary symbol?
I mean, we saw the Saturn card last time, but this is the first time they're talking about a keyhole.
Yeah, well, there were a couple keyholes.
Well, not first time, but it's been a while. It's been a while.
A very long while. And then we have Uranus as well. Uranus. What is the actual pronunciation of that? Is it Uranus or is it Uranus?
Who cares? It's just a big ball of gas floating around in our solar system. It's not doing nothing to nobody. Unless it's in like your 7th house or some shit, then I guess it's fucking with wealth or something. I don't know.
How would one access those books without dying?
With one of those big slidey step thingies, like at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but even then, how do you not fall off of that? I know this ship is full of technology, but the microchips and the hand watch reader things as well. But
wait, did you not see the giant World War Z barricade door in the library?
Yes, I saw that too, but still, I'm not sure if you can make a ladder sturdy enough to keep someone up to that height, and one, still support them, and two, even then, make them not completely freak out when they look down, because that's pretty big height. That's a pretty big height.
Evan, we get it. A library on a boat is a very bad idea. We all agree.
I'm not implying that. I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm just thinking maybe just scale it down just a little bit.
Have you guys heard of ebooks? It's all the fun of books, but with none of that paper bullshit.
So yeah, this is the second to last puzzle room, the library, and it's pretty big. It is a pretty big area. You got a lot of places to explore, lots of flavor text and stuff, but it actually isn't that complicated as it looks.
Oh, nice. Because yeah, it's not really that bad. But I do remember the first time I started this puzzle room, I got a little overwhelmed. This puzzle room is very, very big, and it's right after, after you've pretty much been doing the same puzzles over and over and over. Now you're like, oh, new puzzle. Oh shit! You kind of wakes you back up into the plot.
And really, the bulk of it is just another collection thing. You find these bulbs here, and then you find some picture books along the way, and then you do things with those bulbs and picture books to get out of this area.
All the while getting dialogue to demonstrate Clover and Snake's relationship with each other. We've heard how crazy they are without each other, so it's kind of nice now that we get a bunch of text and a bunch of dialogue with them side by side, kind of getting them in a more natural, relaxed state.
Yeah, and we also get a unique music theme. This is a very interesting piece, I would say. It's very, very psychedelic.
I like how they did have that kind of restraint to save tracks for that final timeline ending, because you get some tracks that are either rarely used or just not used at all outside of going past the second number 9 door. I do really like this track though.
Yeah. There's so many books here, man. You could spend forever just going through the flavor text for all these books and just researching on them as well. It's pretty interesting stuff here.
I'm pretty sure I did that with because there are some of the topics that are in these books. Let me actually see. Just gonna look up real quick because there are some really cool ones. They mentioned the photochemistry, and of course, again, everything ties together. So even the topics of the books there are gonna all tie in one way or another to certain ideas they bring up.
Yeah. There is one issue that I do have with this one. It's that, like with a lot of old animation and such, the objects that you're supposed to find are, well, they stand out well enough. However, I don't think they did a good enough job of doing that in here, because it is very easy to just not know where the book is. Find the book among the other thousands of look-alike books.
Sorry, I just found something that's kind of weird, that it is possible for a team in the nonary game to be stuck with no way to escape if they go through the small door 9, as they will be unable to enter the library here. It's actually the library. If the team that went through the big door 9 took the Uranus key card with them. So if Santa had taken the Uranus card, we wouldn't have been able to get into the library. We would have been stuck behind the smaller number 9 door. That's super fucked.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that at all. Wow. It's a good thing we kept that in our inventory, isn't it?
Right? I'm glad. It's almost like maybe Santa helped us out there, but that's wrong because he's Zero. Let's see, some of the books. There's one called Mind Swap, which, yeah, with all the telepathic communication and stuff that we are seeing. There's one that's Transition of Extinct Species. I could see that too, with the ability to access the morphogenetic field. It's kind of similar to a Marvel mutant, like a superpower. So it's like, oh, it's the next step of human evolution. It's like, sure. That's what we always keep thinking human evolution is going to be, is like superpowers, but it's probably just going to be like less fucked up backs, hopefully. Remember, we still haven't got that whole walking on 2 legs to work 100% of the time. I'd just be happier if our spines and hips were just better adapted to walking on 2 legs.
Yes.
Let's see another one. Mother Nature. Is that some sort of book about hippie chicks?
Could be.
I guess it's just an environmental book. Theories on the Cambrian explosion. That one, I don't know.
Cambrian explosion. Oh, I have that video almost memorized.
Really?
I mean, no, not really, but it's a good video. I love watching it.
I agree.
It's so simple, but it's fun.
I still prefer the history of Japan, though.
Yeah, I would say so. It's more focused.
Like, I'm pretty sure I've quoted on a date, like, almost daily, how about I do anyway?
Oh, man.
Let's see, quantum gravity, because when matter itself can't be quantum enough, we gotta quantumize the gravity. Sure.
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Yeah. Cultural and heritage of Rome. Okay,
Ooh.
I could. You know what? I could kind of see if someone really, really super wanted to make, like the characters of Zero Escape into like the Greek pantheon, and I only say that because we've all seen Future Diaries. A bunch of people out to kill each other and shit. It's like, come on, you can, and all those characters were literally based off Roman gods, so. You can kind of see some influence between Future Diary and the Zero Escape series. So it wouldn't be a stretch if you could like assign gods to each of the characters. I mean, Ace alone is obviously Zeus. Like, he looks the role. But I guess that's why they would probably include a book about Rome in the library.
So what you're telling me is that Kratos ends up killing Ace at the end of God of War 3. Okay, then.
Yes. Because see, at its heart, God of War is a game about family, and how we violently murder and kill that family, and how that's a cycle, and how Kratos is a very sad man trying to fight that cycle.
Yeah. Well, I'm very glad we'll get to know what happens to at least one of the characters after this game's over.
Hooray! What else do we have? Permian creatures. Okay.
Like Hermes the god, or is that
no Permian?
Permian.
Thinking more like in their design. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Apparently the characters don't know either, so...
Okay, good. Makes fun on the same page.
Yeah. History of the Western world. I mean, we've already talked about how we're all on a rock. And it's just floating in the middle of space. And then we have the Riemann hypothesis. Reimann. The Riemann hypothesis. Oh lord. You know what? I don't even know what this is. This is something about zeta functions. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a thing about zeta functions.
Here, let me see if I can look it up. Oh, it's mathematics. Okay. The Riemann hypothesis is a conjecture that the Riemann zeta function has its zeros only at the negative even integers and complex numbers with real part 1/2. Look, I don't remember this in calculus, so I'm going to just ignore it.
Yeah, I can barely solve an integral at this point. It's like, fuck. I'm lucky if I can do like a series of sums. I dumped math like a while ago. I feel kind of bad about how much I've forgotten, but yeah.
Yeah, I dumped it as soon as it started going into geometry and pre-calc.
Yeah, dude, it just gets weird when it's calculus, because then you're like, alright, friends, how's about learning how to find the curve of a point? If that makes no sense to you, welcome to calculus.
It's like only for people who want to go into mathematics, and everyone else can just fuck off.
I had to take it for engineering classes though, which was really weird, because it was always weird that I would learn how to do all these differential equations, and then in my actual biology and chemistry textbooks, all those were already done. So it was like, wait, then why did I learn it? It's like if the textbook was just gonna give it to me, but I guess it helps to learn and know how the textbook got in the first place itself. Also, here's our second cast of characters. These are all very important people. Every last one of them is a major character. We don't know any of their names, but the entire game hinges on these characters.
Well, we know one of them, because they kind of said their name in the previous ending, but we'll leave that for you to decide. Do you remember who it was? Put your answer in the comments.
Vote with your phones now, and the country voted so hard that the building caught on fire. That's another good one.
Zero was okay. He was off over doing poetry. Yeah, but while the puzzle rooms here and the next one as well aren't entirely complex, the lore dump and text dump you get here certainly is.
I mean, though, this is very nice. I do like how how Snake here is tying all the stories together, just because, yeah, as you play through the game, I certainly didn't pick up the first time just how common in theme all the little sci-fi anecdotes were. And so it's nice that we're getting everything tied together. Everything was just reinforcing statements, reinforcing ideas, so that we can now start getting the payoff here. We've had these questions of, yeah, how did the EDT talk to each other? How did the people know about the dog? And now it's like, oh shit, we got the morphogenetic field.
It's still a bunch of pseudoscience crap, but it's in here anyway, so once again, just roll with it.
It's yeah. At this point, we're in a giant sci-fi library. Dude in cult robes. Not quite a cult. We don't know that yet. It's not in the series yet, but... I do like how we finally have a smart character back in the party.
Oh yes. Not to say that no one else here is smart, it's just no one is as smart and knowledgeable as Snake. For more reasons than one, of course.
Yeah. Honestly, we're trying to wonder here, who would be... if we had to rank the intelligence of the first crew, Snake would be number one, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Snake would be the smartest, and then, excluding being evil... Ace would be second, or
Yeah.
Ace, maybe even Lotus. Lotus's knowledge to me just seems very technical, like it's very specific to me though. Like, and then Clover's just got the knowledge of a child. Like she's a smart kid, but she's still just a kid. So I would shoot her down the ranking. Santa would be towards the top. Towards probably like top 4.
Yeah, arrogant and foul-mouthed, but still smart, just like most people in their 20s.
Right. And then I'd put... I mean, Junpei is literally meant to be average, so he would be like right in the middle. I don't know. I'd say June is smarter than Junpei. She just hasn't demonstrated it in the game.
Well,
now this is June in the game. Let's like June the character within the series is a whole nother beast. I mean June the character in this game. I'd put her like a little bit smarter than Junpei, just kind of enough to read a room, but not quite, And, I mean, she probably doesn't know about like quantum gravity. That's so weird to say, because goddamn, cause she's like the ultimate quantum queen later.
Did we discussed the Gansfeld experiment, correct?
Which one?
We did. The Gansfeld experiment, because they just referenced that here, saying that was the screening process for choosing which children would be participating in the first Nonary game.
Yeah, I don't know if it was given an actual name, but like Snake's been saying, basically all these stories have involved a transmitter and a receiver of information. There's some means of communication, so the Gainesville whole thing kind of just specifies specifically that there are transmitter people and receiver people, and I feel like the series kind of like goes off of this though, because then it just becomes a lot more like Steins Gate, where everyone just kind of develops reading Steiner. Which, if you know Steins Gate, you know what that means. Like, there's just sort of that retention of knowledge, as opposed to what they're talking about here with the kids with the transmitter receiver. Like that concept sticks around in this game and is like part of this game, but later on they kind of change this whole. They make the morphogenetic field really just kind of a highway. It's just a means to tap into, like I said, a reading Steiner-esque knowledge transfer. But in this one, they try to very specifically make that certain people transmit the information, certain people receive it. And so they're trying to figure out, and obviously it's heightened with stress, because what isn't fucking heightened with stress, god damn it. So it just makes you hormonal and freaks your whole body out. You're not going to get the best results. It never gives you the best results.
Okay, now they're referencing Apollo 13, and I'm highly doubt this thing was. Did they actually make like a whole replica of Apollo 13 just so they could try to figure out how to solve that big old problem they were having?
I highly doubt it. But that's what's so great about the real world / this game, is that maybe, probably, we don't fucking know. They tried to make all kinds of weird shit during the Cold War.
Excuse me, just because you have a fuller ass than those two, I wouldn't assume they're bony. Good
wow. Hey, some of us have to work with bony butts. $18, that's not a 9 number. What kind of tomfoolery is this?
Why would they leave 2 children out when they cover this story in the news?
Who just left their child here?
I don't know.
I feel like that's probably like the only One Punch Man meme that I really liked, is whose child is this? Finally, there it is.
Oh, shit!
Oh my god!
Well, dang. Yep, now you got this idea in your head, folks.
Yeah.
Is this Akane real? Is June actually here right now? Well, of course she is, but who is she then?
I totally forgot that it pulls this whole little switcheroo. This is such a mindfuck, because this really doesn't go anywhere. Why would you do this game? This kind of muddles things up a bit. Like, I get that. Okay, this isn't bad. But maybe I'm just not a fan of when games try to misdirect people like this. Especially, like, when all the clues are very conveniently pointing, like, to the solution. But, whatever.
Like, when you have something like this, that's this big of a bomb, I would say it's...
Maybe this would have worked better, like, pre true ending route. Like, if this was something that was sprinkled throughout the, like, multiple, like, everyone dying endings that, like, oh, maybe this isn't Akane. Like, maybe I could have taken that a bit better, and then as we get to the true ending, we get more to the answer. But it's just so weird that they throw this twist at the end before the twist. Like, I think that's my thing. It just feels like this twist is too close to the actual reveal.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. At least it's still, again, when you're going through the game the first time, you have no idea what the hell's going on. At least it makes, from this point on, the next time you meet June incredibly crucial.
It does, yeah. It does raise the stakes of not only saving whoever this is, but figuring out who they are. Because what if this means that Santa isn't a bad guy? What if, oh my god, like this, it does get your brain thinking about what all the implications are. So it is kind of nice to kind of give the plot this sort of conspiracy boost, but maybe a little sooner. Just, you had a lot of time. There was a lot of time that we were just sitting here watching those puzzles when we could have been casting doubt on Akane.
Yeah. Maybe the game was doing it this entire time and we didn't even notice.
That is true. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we picked up in this playthrough that I definitely had noticed over the few times I played the game. That's what's so good about this game.
Yes. You always find something new.
That's not how doors work. You don't just keep putting in the password and the door opens more. This isn't God of War. You don't mash the X to make door open.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. It's only one of the doors is open, but there are two of them. Do we use that other door, or... Because, I mean, why would we? It just leads back into the library. But regardless, we'll see you guys on the next part when we get to the final puzzle room, and maybe we'll go through that door anyway. Who knows?
Bye.